YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage back in the Hun campaign, and it looks like you all enjoyed the first episode, and you gave me a whole bunch of different tips for using the Huns, some of which I was not aware of. Like, I guess I just figured the Huns could settle. That makes sense. They put them in a different category than the migratory faction, so they actually can't settle. So I guess this will be our Horde faction, and if another Horde-capable faction wins the vote from the last episode, which, by the way, there's a runoff of factions to make the other new campaign that is going to start, so go back to the last episode of this campaign and vote. I'll try and put a link down there. Go vote there. So if they are also a Horde faction, what I'll do is settle down with them, since the Huns cannot settle down, and that should settle it. So you all told me a few interesting things, and I want to point it out in case some of my viewers aren't aware of it. Some of you don't like the way I'm doing my building trees. That's fine. I get it. You're not worried about integrity. You're just starting a fight and keeping your guys moving, and that helps their integrity. But a few good tips that I liked. Some of you said that this rivalry here comes from the fact that there's two hordes in the same province. Good to know. And you also said that it has an impact on food and other stuff in the same province. So that splitting up is actually what they're trying to get you to do. I did not know that, but I can certainly try it, and it, we'll split up here in a minute. The other thing that some of you mentioned that was a good idea too, which I was kind of planning on doing something similar, is if you're going to move, you can come out of your encamped state, only move like 75% of your movement points, and then save the last 25% so you can enter the encampment every time and be retraining. So that's pretty much the advice you all gave me. It's good advice. I like it. There was other comments, and again, I appreciate all the comments that you all give me. Certainly read through them all, and I'll try to be responding to some here soon as well. So let's check out what we got going on here. We got this swordsmith. He's a skilled... Oops, I got to start my timer here too. Skilled craftsman has been captured by our outriders. Claims to have the ability to make swords with deadly curved blades of the east. What should we do with him? We will say... let's free him and see what happens. It says a free man will surely create finer work than a man bound in chain. Let's try that. See if it works. So, it looks like quite a few of my family members have enough influence, but now we're controlling Dominion massively here, which is fine. It looks like we have enough influence to potentially try and have them seek a wife. Let's try that with a couple of these characters here. And then this one, she can't seek a wife because she's a daughter. Yeah, we'll just kind of wait and see if someone will make us a better offer for her in marriage, which no one has just yet. Anyway, that's my Hun tribe for the time being. And I'll be uploading the records from this, by the way, to the Total War Chronicles. If you all want to check that out online, I'll make sure to keep my records uploaded. So if you all want to maybe compare your Hun campaign to mine and brag about how much better you are, then you feel free to do so.
Come, sit, share my fire.
So it looks like all my guys have used their movement points for this turn, so we pretty much need to end a turn, but we were finished researching the Warlord's Yurt, which will be pretty nice. Shaman's Yurt. Nomadic Fairgrounds. Sounds like a good old time. Let's see what we can do here. Warriors Camp, Steppe Spearmen. It may not be good to go ahead and go down this route. Unlock Steppe Mounted Brigand, or Steppe Raiders and these other stuff. So let's do a little research down this path here, down the military path. And some of y'all gave me some suggestions on buildings, and I'll try that too as we get moving on out, because we do need to build up some money. And I was thinking we can go do some sacking and stuff to continue to build up money. So we will end this turn, and then now that once the winter's broken, we'll just kind of keep moving on. We need to change our army names, so we'll have to take care of that real quick. Okay, so it had an illegitimate birth. Here we have supposedly a worthy, yeah, +2 personal influence per turn. That's great. And that's pretty sweet. Yeah, we'll definitely take her. And then here we have another pretty good candidate as well. That's pretty awesome. So we'll take her hand. The swordsmith, this man chooses to stay amongst your people, and the blades he produced by his forge are exquisite. That's pretty awesome. I wonder if that's something we get for like a household item. Let's go ahead and take our guys out of the encampment here and get ready to move the hordes out. And let's kind of think about where we want to go. I'm thinking that it would probably be a good idea, and I'm just thinking here. Ah, man, I turned off my casting tool. Or no, here they are. They were down at the bottom. I'm thinking maybe taking one horde and kind of pushing down this way into the East Roman lands. Maybe take another horde and push towards the West Romans. And perhaps we should keep one horde and kind of pillage our way through a little bit of more... I don't even know what modern day this area is here. So what is it called? This Hercynia. So we'll kind of maybe push this way against some of the Germanic tribes. So maybe that'll be a fun way to do it. And if we want, maybe we can push as far west as Britain and kind of have some fun doing some raiding in places that the Huns may not have ever gone that far traditionally. So, in fact, we're going to need to do some retraining. That's fine. Man, these guys are pretty weak in their current state. Both of these armies are. This one's not too bad. It looks like all these guys need to do some retraining. But we're not going to be retraining very quickly in this province anyway. Let's go ahead. I don't know why we can't move much, even though I have all my movement points. It may just be because of where we have to move. Let's actually just hit these guys. Oh, we'd have to siege it again. Never mind, because we don't have any siege equipment. I was gonna sack these or subjugate these guys, but it's not important. We'll just break the siege. Not a big deal. So now let's just go ahead and kind of move out. That's what I'm thinking. So let's take our faction leader. We'll go ahead and move down into this province here. These guys don't appear to be enemies of me right now. I think we saved enough of our movement points we did. So we'll go ahead and go encamped with these guys and let them do some retraining. And then with these guys, we have a pretty large enemy army here actually. I may keep these guys together for just another turn or two to let them retrain and support each other since they're a little bit weaker. And then we'll split them up as well. And we'll see what we can do about getting better buildings as well. I don't think we have anything that we really can or need to build on this turn because we're waiting on more growth. So we'll go ahead and end this. So that's going to be interesting. I'm going to have to check out the victory conditions. I forgot to look at those so that we can't settle down. I'm sure that it's probably going to make you go off like maybe income and subjugated factions and stuff like that, I'm guessing. So we'll see. Yep, these guys are going to come in and attack while I'm weak. This is the kind of crap you got to be careful about as a horde. And we're just going to withdraw and see if we can get out of their range with both. I think we can. Yeah, they can't reach me. So we'll be safe for now. We'll just kind of move away from our enemies over there. There's no need to really mess with them at the moment. We sacked them. We got what we wanted out of them.
We do not have the civilized graces, but we offer our words honestly, from the heart.
I still think you should probably be offering me money, especially since you already like me and I don't... Okay, so we need to stay ahead of our enemies here. We've got this army camped out, retraining, and we can now actually... We could actually do this and start training some... Unlocks the recruitment of steppe mounted tribespeople, steppe tribespeople, mounted brigands, steppe bows. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade this warriors camp here. And then for this army, let's just... Maybe we should go ahead and move down into this land here. Let's just see if we can stay ahead of our enemies here. And we'll kind of head... Let's see, is this another Antian town? Yeah. Let's just see if we can stay ahead of them for now, which we should be able to because we're already out in front of them.
Is there nothing else?
The Roxolanians are up here too, which I believe they're an enemy faction. No, just as an army. Apparently they're not an enemy faction. I just thought they were... Oh, I didn't save my movement points to start retraining. So see there, I made a mistake. That's pretty stupid. I don't need to raise another horde right now, that's for sure. Let's take a look at... so now we're out of the... We're kind of splitting up a little bit. I'm not trying to click that. I keep forgetting to go into here. So as far as recruiting goes, this is what we have access to. Let's just kind of take a feel here. We've got a couple of steppe lancers, steppe mounted tribespeople, mounted brigands, Mounted tribespeople are pretty decent. Light melee cav here. Very light melee cav though. See, Hunnic mounted warband are looking like another light melee cav, but still fast and decent attack stats. Got plenty of these Hunnic mounted bows, which are pretty nice horse archers, all things considered. Excellent missile block, chance armor, good attack versus cav. These Hunnic spears aren't bad either. Let's just kind of let these guys... Well, I'm trying to think if maybe I shouldn't go ahead and train in a few Hunnic spear units. Let's go ahead and train some in and see how much it's going to impact our overall income. Because we need to get these armies built up to where they can be self-supporting. I don't want to be getting attacked and having to run away like I did there, so we'll definitely want to get our armies to be at least self-supporting in open field battles. Now if we get tag team, there may not be much I can do about that, especially since I'm splitting up, but being split up means that I probably won't get wiped out in one quick blow either, but still has its risk. I need to remember this time to move shorter distances so that I can get my other armies encamped so that they can do some retraining. Right now those other two armies are actually at a pretty decent sized risk. Yep, we're going to be attacked by these guys again. We should be able to just stay out in front of them.
Finding shelter.
They're probably not going to want to chase me too terribly far. Got a hostile agent trying to misdirect this army.
How can I help?
Let's go ahead and move across. So if I go slowly like this, we can kind of keep track of how much movement point I'm using. So if we move to here, we can go ahead and set up camp.
On the move, lads.
So there we go. We've got camp set up.
For the gods.
And then this enemy town over here could potentially be easy for us to sack. But what I'm going to do is actually go ahead and just set up camp and see if we can train in a couple more units to help this army out. Let's see what we got here. We got a few melee cav. So we're okay-ish for melee cav right now. We may want to get a little bit of infantry. And these guys have very low upkeep. They're not particularly great infantry, but low upkeep is handy. So we'll just go ahead and start training in some units. And then, let's see, so here... I'm a little worried about this this particular horde. We could find ourselves in a nasty situation if we get too close and there's an army in that city, but I also don't want to stay too close to those guys either. So without having any scouting, there's a bit of risk as to what's going to happen here, but maybe let's head this way. Yeah, let's try that. Well, let's see. We want to only move to the point where I can go encamped and at least try to... There we go. Should be safe to go ahead and move to here. And we'll just go ahead and encamp and try and train those Hunnic spears again. There we go. So everybody's encamped, and we're training some new units and some of these other ones. Oops, hit the wrong one again. Let's try and train some infantry into this army as well. We don't need a ton of it. Look, you can get noble Akaziri riders already as well. These guys are okay. Again, light melee cav. They're best against cavalry, whereas some of my others have better attack versus infantry. I have plenty of horses. Let's try and get some infantry. So we'll hold it to what we can recruit in one turn. Again, let's go ahead and end the turn, see if we get chased. If we do, I'll just continue running towards...
Oh, Lord demands it.
The Allans weren't worth me, whatever, bring it. I expect to see and they're joined by the Vandals, so the Allans and the Vandals now at war with us, so we definitely need to get our stacks built up. Yep, here comes the Ostrogoths out of nowhere wanting to attack us. This is where the horde stuff can get absolutely crazy. We're at war with a lot of people, so we're going to need to get in a position quickly where we can defeat some of our enemies. So I may go ahead and gather my hordes back up real quick and try and get retrained and built so that then I can split up and still be able to defend myself. Like, if I had a decent stack, we could have smashed whatever the Ostrogoths sent at me there, but they're looking to take advantage of me while I'm split up and weak, so Yeah, and see, these guys are going to keep chasing me as well. So I'm not going to be able to do anything until I get away from these guys, group up to where no one wants to attack me, retrain, rebuild, and then we can take these guys out. The Ostrogoths may try and team up with their enemies there, though. So even though it causes a little rivalry, I'm going to get back together in one province again so that I can stay encamped with the safety of all my different groups. Getting beat up a little bit like I did in that battle was probably not smart. Okay, so we can move to here. So let's move here. Let's take this army, come out of camp. We'll move here. This army. And they should still, yeah, it's still going to get reinforcements from the others. So now we should be able to go into camp with all of these guys. And we can reinforce each other. So if someone attacks me now, they have to fight all of my different stacks. And we can go ahead and try our recruiting again here. So here I was trying to get some Hunnic spears. And as soon as I get some of these units trained, we'll be in some pretty darn good shape. Got campfires, bartering grounds. And that enables the recruitment of spies, which could be handy as well. I'm going to go ahead and build the bartering grounds. Let's scooch back over in here. I don't know, not mercenaries. So we could do steppe tribes people, spears, or cavalry. Let's go ahead and just get steppe tribes people for now because they're cheap upkeep and could still be handy to pin enemy infantry while I attack them with cavalry. So got them training here, got them training here, here. This one needs some. So recruit units here, and we're going to have to go with Hunnic spears. So, and this will start to eat into my income, of course, but as soon as we can just get ourselves into a stable position, we can start doing some damage. Like I said, it's going to take me some getting used to. I'm not used to these campaigns. My only worry is if the Ostrogoths team up with one of these other hordes and get us while we're all together. Obviously a big risk. So we need to get built up and retrained quickly so that we can be self-sufficient here.
An offer of peace from us should not be spurned.
I'm not going to do that because having the extra war gives me boost to integrity, and I intend to attack the Romans anyway. So there go some of my enemies off after each other. So that's good. We may get a little respite here. Like I said, try and build up our armies a little.
I set aside my sword.
So finally someone's offering some payment.
Warrior to warrior. This is the way of the world for men.
I'm going to make a counter offer. Want at least 1,200. They're not interested, so whatever. Okay, we got a hostile agent. He's after us in a matter of state. So, let's see what we got here is matter of state. Greetings, I have brought a gift from my people in order that we may improve relations. Accept the gift. So, we got a hostile Ostrogoth agent after us. We can probably, yeah, so see, my income is all kinds of down just after recruiting just a few cheap infantry units. So, we're going to need to get out and do some face stomping with these armies. So, since I've already done so much of my integrity to the point that the rivalry doesn't really matter at the moment, I am going to go ahead and just, at least for the time being, keep my hordes together and just move around to do some sacking. Let's see how we're doing on the retraining front. It's going to take a few turns to get retrained. I kind of want to just go ahead and do that. I guess I could be moving and retraining, so that's what I'll do. Sorry, on the next one I should have done that. Don't know what I was thinking. So I'll just go ahead and keep moving and retraining, and I want to go over to Olbia real quick and sack it, and then move south with my armies, and we'll just use some of the money we're making from the sacking to keep, hopefully, building some buildings and encouraging growth in the horde. And that should give us the ability to make some doom stacks. Once we get some strong doom stacks here, we should be able to defend ourselves even against one or two full stack enemy armies. And we'll need to clear out some of the other hordes. Like right now there's Ostrogoths, there's Vandals, there's Visigoths, there's all these folks running around. We need to start wiping some of these folks out.
Gold is a blessing from the gods.
Not giving you my money. Okay, so that hostile agent is still after us.
Come, sit.
Let's go into normal. Let's take everybody into normal and just kind of see.
Come, sit. Share my fire.
Let's see what the shortest movement range is that we can make.
Ready for
Okay, everybody can move pretty much down to this point. So, yeah, look, here's an Ostrogoth army and Gepids. I wonder if the two of those guys are on the same side or if they're alone. Because that'd be pretty awesome to go after the... Here the Gepids are allied with the Ostrogoths, so we don't want to get tangled up in that at the moment. So let's take this army,
ready for battle.
or all these armies actually, move them a little less than 3/4 of their range so that we can still go into camp.
Get moving. For the gods.
So we're good here.
On our way.
This is going to take some getting used to, this horde play style. I'm not used to this. There we go.
Gods be praised. Excitement. Come,
And we can now
sit.
go back
Share
into
my
the
fire.
encampment.
Thirsty for battle.
And that helps get us growth, integrity, and retraining, of course, on the end of every turn. So let's see.
Ready for action.
We have some buildings that are available to us if we want. This is the nobleman's camp. We could upgrade it to a warlord's yurt, which eats up quite a bit more food. So it'd be 40 more food if I did it for both of these guys, but it also does give us quite a bit more wealth, and it also gives us access to champions, which could be
Ready for
potentially
battle.
very handy. And so I think I'm going to go ahead and risk it in at least one,
Thirsty for battle.
and we'll kind of see how it goes. That's 6 turns worth of building, though, that these guys would kind of have to sit still.
Ready for action.
I'm not sure I want to sit still just that long, or that long just... Well, actually, it'll keep building even if I move. Never mind. Let's go ahead and build that warlord's yurt. And we'll just, like I said, keep moving up on Olbia and see if we can sack it. But we're going to need my guys retrained, and we'll try and keep our distance from big hordes of enemies. But I think once we get a good mix of infantry and cavalry and bows in our army, we should be able to handle pretty much anything that will get thrown at us from the other hordes. Our cavalry and other stuff ought to be pretty superior to what the other folks start off with. Because I remember playing around with the Ostrogoths just a little, and it was pretty rough running into the Huns early game. Yeah, look, 3 enemy stacks up here. Definitely not where we want to be at the moment. And obviously it took a lot of my money to build that one building as well. But we should be able to go ahead and move here.
How can I help?
We can go ahead and move up to this point. Let's do that.
Move out.
So I can see Olbia.
Gods.
We need to get these guys out of this.
Thirsty for battle.
We're actually negative if we're not encamped now.
Sit. Share my fire. Is that all? On our way.
So, yeah, I can see Olbia.
Thirsty for battle.
Let's go ahead and camp for one more turn, and then we'll sack it.
Come, sit. Share my fire. For the gods.
And then we'll actually earn a little bit of money while we're all camped in here too. This shows me that one has minus 15 food too, so we probably ought to balance that out. That'll help too. Someone mentioned that you want to balance the food out in each horde. So I'll just get to work on this. Like I said, it's going to take me a little while to get used to it. This is all still pretty new to me, the whole horde idea. I'm going to need to get some economic structures built up, though. In my camps, might have to build some artisans or something,
Destination reached.
just to help boost income. Yeah, it's winter time too, so our food supply is going to drop a little. Let's take a look at the retraining. Another turn or so and our guys will be pretty much
On
retrained. Let's just go ahead and pop through one more turn end here. We got a skill that we can assign. This gives me extra melee attack and campaign movement. It's just not bad at all. Authority, battle movement speed, food +5 from characters when in horde, and then this actually gives me extra ammunition as well. But it's not a ton, just 6% increase. This one gives me extra sacking income, which would be pretty sweet. And up to, wow, up to 24% more raiding income as well. That would be pretty nice. I think I'm going to stick with the movement range and the +6 melee attack commanded horde. That's pretty awesome. If it gives that to the whole horde and not just the general's bodyguard.
Come, sit, share my fire.
It looks like it's a boost to the whole horde. So that's pretty sweet, because all my guys are running with extra melee attack. That is not going to hurt anything. Whatever the Allens have an agent after me. I was wondering why it takes so long. Yeah, I need to get that building finished anyway so that I need to recruit a spy and probably a priest as well so that I can keep enemy agents away from my hordes. That's the last thing we need, is the enemy agent screwing us up. Looks like Attila is going to be born here. We actually missed this in my Sassanid campaign.
They made ready for war. The world had fallen into shadow. The earth grew cold, and the wind whispered of death. And I beheld a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of scales in his hand. Attila was born. All knelt before him, for they knew he would devour the earth and set on fire the foundations of the mountains. Attila was born from darkness and despair.
Alright, so that hostile agent is after me. Looks like we got a couple of hostile agents after us. Attila's born. We got some wavering loyalty with one of our generals.
How can I help?
Let's see. Yeah, it's this guy here. It's got wavering loyalty. So let's use the wife here and see if we can secure some loyalty on this old chap here. Alright. Yeah, we're definitely getting some annoying agents
Ready
after
for
us.
battle.
We can go ahead and recruit a spy here. Let's see. So, unit experience, spy master +1 authority, double agent. Let's go with the spy master here.
I am the light in the dark.
All right.
Ready for action.
These guys here. Let's go ahead and take them out of camp and check out our unit status. Unit status is good. We're pretty much up to full strength here, and I don't see any resistance at Olbia.
None will escape.
Yeah, very little resistance here, so let's go ahead and attack Olbia. They may still have some towers, but we can handle it. Got way more men than they do, so I don't think they're going to be able to cover all their angles. If I get the opportunity, I might subjugate these guys again. I think they were subjugated. Maybe a proper thrashing will help. We're going to wait so that I can use flaming arrows. The only bad thing about this is all the enemy towers are going to be intact. And I don't know if I have any Raider Cav. I need to get some because they're really good at kind of riding up and putting enemy towers down. So yeah, I don't have any Raider Cav at the moment. We need to get some. But my spearmen do have spear wall, which should help protect them against the towers. And like I said, I don't think the enemy is going to be able to withstand an attack from multiple directions here. Let's see, yeah, we could potentially get up from over here as well. Just gonna put these guys here, get my general here. Let's go ahead and start the battle. We'll start kind of just walking our warband up over here. This is all passable over here, so I'm just going to move in my cavalry to where they shouldn't be able to protect from every direction. Oh, these guys completely immobile in wall? I guess so. Spear wall makes them immobile, huh?
Fools! Wiser men would flee before our numbers.
Let's take these guys off fire at will. We cut their archers over here. Those stupid arrow towers are so strong too. Let's just take one of these cav and give chase to the archers, and we'll take the other two and just finish capturing this tower. Let's bring our horse archers up over here to harass, and we'll go ahead and put them here. Yeah, these archers are running for my cav. These bowmen are caught. They're gonna get destroyed. And then you can see these yep, okay, so we dealt with the enemy tower. We need to deal with these incoming Germanic brigands. Let's get one of our spearmen in here to capture the tower, and then I'll just let my horse archers work on the enemy axemen there. They're gonna get worked over pretty bad by my horse archers. They don't have a particularly good missile block chance. The enemy archers over here, yeah, check out the flaming barrage that we're saturating these guys with. And we should be capturing that tower pretty quickly as well. I'm gonna pull away from those axes with my other cav. Just let my horse archers finish these guys. These archers are lasting a surprisingly long time. Not anymore, though. Okay, so the enemy tower is gone. Go ahead and move up my Hunnic spears. I'm going to try and leave that tower alone, given the option here. Let's take our horse archers off fire at will for the moment. And let's get these horsemen back over, bring our general up. The only unit that should be left should be this Germanic levy, I think. I'd like to try and get it pinned down with my Hunnic spear. Oh, there's a barricade there. That's why the enemy's coming around too. I'll go ahead and see if we can tear the barricade down. Let's watch my guys going after this barricade. They probably won't be too good at it because they have spears, and I'm guessing that it acts kind of like the gates where guys with axes will do better versus it. Yeah. I'm guessing that axes tear that down faster. Let's bring our Lancer Cav up to rear charge the enemy spears that are about to be engaged by my Hunnic spearmen. So right in the middle of all this little tent city here, Hunnic spearmen engaging the Germanic levy. My Hunnic spearmen look to be better for the most part. Our charge is going to be a little bit impeded, but we'll go ahead and make it. So we're going to charge the Germanic spears here. That ought to pretty much get rid of them very quickly. Bring us a pretty swift victory. Look at my guys trying to tear down the barricade. That's pretty cool. I'm glad they made these last longer. They got torn down way too easy when the game released, so nice patch here to make it harder and take longer to tear down barricades. Obviously, it'd probably be quicker to tear down barricades with the axe units. Okay, so there's actually a few ship units that are still left, but if we just take some mounted tribes people up here and let's just go capture the town center. Oh, I thought those were lancers. They were mounted tribes people. They just look like lancers on their unit card here. These guys. They're the ones that did the rear charge. They were probably better in that extended melee anyway. Like I said, there's no need in even waiting on the shipborne units. We'll just come up here and capture the main town center. We can take the steppe lancers up here too. Again, this is where Raider Cav is going to come in handy. I need to get at least probably 2 units of Raider Cav into each army. I can use them for burning towers and capturing enemy capture points quicker. Definitely be much more worthwhile. This is a pretty sweet map. I like this. Here at Olbia. Let's just see if these guys have any decent capture power. Probably not. But we are taking the capture point away. There we go. Yeah, the enemy ships are not coming to shore. The archer ship may be trying to get in firing range. But they're going to have an obstructed line of sight. Not really going to be able to fire up over that cliff very well. And the capture point's going to be mine here briefly. You can see it being captured. And that's just a capture point. There's probably not a victory point. Ooh, yeah, that is just a capture point. Yep, never mind. So we have to kill the shipborne units, which means we're going to need our horse archers. Let's take the Hunnic spearmen because they have the best missile block chance. We'll use them to neutralize this tower, and then we'll bring our horse archer. Or no, actually, some of these units are landing here. We can bring our horse archers and some of our other horsemen though to smite these naval units that are disembarking. But I want to capture that tower, and again, I'll use these units because they'll take the fewest casualties, and then we can beat down these light marines or light marauders. They're going to get charged and destroyed by my mounted tribes people. Yeah, but see how that tower just starts getting all kinds of shots? It's ignoring my spearmen, which is unfortunate because I sent them over, but we're about to capture it very quickly. So that tower is going to be in our control. And the enemy archers just landed and routed all at the same time. So we've managed to successfully raid Olbia. Of course, there wasn't much by way of defense, but didn't take too many losses. We should be able to retrain it pretty quick. And we'll kind of see what options we have open, whether we can subjugate or whether we can just sack them at this point. So let's see what our options are. We can either sack or raise. We're certainly going to sack it because that's some quick cash that we can pick up. And we can actually just move right over to here with these guys and still be encamped. So these two armies can keep retraining, and we can retrain our losses here after having sacked Olbia and gotten some pretty nice income there actually from the process of sacking it. Got our building being built there, and then here we need both of these places. It looks like we're going to need a little more money or population gain. Let's go ahead. So the Tempest has gained the trait. This gives them extra integrity and raiding income, which is pretty cool. Captive ransom income, sacking income, battle movement speed for Cav up to 6%. So let's see, if we go down this track, we get battle movement speed, morale, but these are all different versus folks, so that's kind of weird. Missile attack rate is kind of cool, up to 20% missile attack rate. Potentially handy. Recruitment cost down for foreign levy units by up to 12%. Extra experience for axe units, ammunition. Integrity when encamped. Integrity when raiding. I'm kind of thinking just go ahead down Raider Band and then maybe get this extortion. And then, man, that terror might be kind of handy as well. Getting down to Royal Host would certainly be pretty nice. let's just go ahead and start our traditions there. And like I said, we'll go ahead and end one more turn, and then I'm past out of time for this one. I still made it a little bit longer than I normally would. That Allen agent's still messing with us. We can get our spy after him in the next turn, though he's leveled up. Did the Allens send other agents up there? Because, geez, it was taking a long time in their turn end. Same thing, the Ostrogoths are screwing with us with their agent, too, so it'll probably take a second here on the turn end. Can't wait to put a beat down on some of these guys. And with all the nice cavalry we have, even early on, we should be able to provide them a pretty sturdy beat down. Yeah, look, they sent in their stupid agents up here. Already got two enemy spies just following us everywhere we go. Of course, no one likes us, so it's no big surprise that they're having spies follow us everywhere. We'll just kind of start moving along at this point. Oh, I think we may get attacked by the Anteans. Yep, they're trying to move up all their forces to get us. And only 2 of my armies can reinforce. And they're going to have a ton of spearmen and slingers and all this other stuff. So I didn't know these guys were following me. We're going to have to retreat and hope that they can't catch us. They can't. Which means, let's see. Now these guys might try and attack us as well, so we may end up, yeah, we've got ourselves in a pretty rough position here. And we actually cannot retreat from this with this particular army. Huh. So it looks like we're going to have to kind of fight for our lives on this one, but we get a reinforcing army as well, so if we single these guys out and destroy them quickly, we might have a chance. This is where we're going to pick up next time, so a little bit of suspense. Heir's having to defend the livelihood of his hordes here, and if we win, it'll be a major blow to our enemies here. So, Heir of Carthage, signing off for now.